Bob, you've played this Pitt team under Jeff for a couple years now. Was there anything you saw tonight that was a bit different since this is kind of a new group this year?
Watching film, I really like their team. They drive it. They got good size. They rebound. I think you did a great job recruiting, and I think they'll do. I think they're going to get better and better. It's hard whenever you bring guys in, you're trying to mold them all together, and they don't really know each other. These guys are great. They were around all summer, so they got to know each other. Know what guys are good at and what they're not good at, and especially hard to get these guys that have the ball so much.
Bob, Blake Hinton had been putting together a pretty good season so far, but you were able to hold him to 5 points on 2 of 9 shooting. What did you do to make that happen?
I didn't guard him.
What did your team do to make that happen?
Well, obviously we look at film, and we had 2 good days of practice, 2 good days of practice of preparation, and the guys were really good about paying attention, knowing who's who does what.
Bob, Jeff talked about you guys being very good at creating chaos on defense to cause problems. What's going into the game plan to kind of be on Pitt the way that you guys were and kept
We just don't know what the hell we're doing. So we just run around. We just run around, and see a guy that's open, we go get him. We've been that way for a while. We're kind of chaotic.
Do you like the way? Do you like it when your team plays that way?
When we win. When we win, and when we lose, then I ask them, what the hell are you doing?
For Erik and Joe, Coach Huggins said he didn't tell you anything about the history of this rivalry. How long did it take you to realize a little bit different than the average game?
The football game when they played.
Was it?
Yeah. It was pretty easy to figure out the rivalry. You know what I mean? Our fans travel really well for every sport, and I was at the football game myself, and I saw a lot of Mountaineer fans there. And then next week when Pitt played a home game and there was nobody at the game, I knew what it was. I knew what it meant. You could look out there tonight. There was a good amount of Mountaineer fans out there. It's the backyard brawl, man.
Joe, you played in obviously big rivalry games before in your career. How does this compare to some of those?
It's definitely the same. It's the same in Iowa State. I would just say it's way more serious here, to be honest. Like Erik, I was with him at the football game, so definitely saw that. Like he said, our fans travel, so it's pretty big. I was kind of looking forward to it, to be honest. I always enjoy playing games like this. Makes me feel really good about myself.
Bob, I know it's early, but what have 2 games revealed about Trey Mitchell, just in terms of how he's fitting into the equation with you guys and how you can best utilize him night in and night out?
He's a little rusty. I think that's not what you're going to see later on. He's getting better and better. They couldn't do anything for what was it, a couple months, right? 3 months, or 3 or 4 months. I mean, he had some pretty extensive surgery. So that's not Trey Mitchell out there right now. That's not the one you're going to see later on.
Coach, what worked well for you guys in the paint? 36 points in the paint. How were you guys able to get your shots inside that you guys wanted?
Well, how many did we miss?
Good question.
We missed a bunch. We spend time on it. We work on it. We work on it with the bigs. We work on rebounding. Our guards are athletic, so they can go make plays around the rim. You try to get guys to do what they're good at doing and stay away from the things they can't.
In your view, how much did Hughley not playing affect the game tonight?
He's a really good player. He's a really good player. You'd have to ask Jeff that, but he's. I've known a kid since he was a freshman in high school. He was a good player on the varsity team at Brush when he was a freshman. So I think he brings a lot, but that's really not for me.
42 off the 42 points off the bench for your team. What does that say about your depth leading into the rest of your season?
Well, I think one, it says we did a pretty good job in the portal. I think our last year's freshmen are now a lot more seasoned and obviously know what we want done. We've got a few for a couple freshmen that sooner or later are going to start to see some time. I think our depth is really good.
Coach, in that vein, Mohamed Wagi didn't miss a shot, only played 13 minutes. What kind of player did you get from him? When you brought him in?
Well, we liked him the first time we saw him. You know, he's so agile. He's getting better and better as everybody does. You know, these two guys here work at their game, and I think it rubs off. I think our upperclassmen guys, when those young guys come in, they see how hard they work. I think that spirits them into putting more time in. It's all about putting time in. I mean, it's the great players didn't get great just sitting on their ass. You know, they get out and work at it, put time in.
Coach, sort of along that line, like last year, you went through an entire year trying to build up something down low in the paint, and became a source of frustration. You look at what Mo's done, obviously what Bell's given you, and obviously James has had some flashes. Are you seeing like maybe the beginning stages of getting a lot more from those players than you know, a lot different from last year?
Yeah, I think we can get a lot more from them, but I think, you know, what you have to keep remembering is then we're going to have Trey.
Right.
So we're going to have four guys. And Trey's the most versatile of the four.
Joe, you seemed comfortable out there. What worked for you offensively?
To be honest, I'm just a very confident person. Like Coach said, me and Erik working on games basically every single day. So, I mean, I go in there every game thinking, you know, I'm ready. That's all it is, to be honest, just being in the gym.
Joe, if you could talk about that sequence in the second half, the end one with contact, and then a few sequences later you made that three in the corner, and that kind of really separated things in the second half, got you guys pretty fired up on the sidelines. So talk about just how huge that was, maybe not just for your individual performance, but for the team itself.
Yeah, I mean, my whole thing was just get some stops. I mean, I just wanted to be destructive, you know, to the team, to the other team. I was just telling everybody we need 3 in a row. You know, we need 3 stops in a row. We need 3 stops in a row. Like, I care less about offense, you know. I was just taking what the defense was giving me, and that was what I wanted to get it done on the defensive end. And when I got that steal, you know, that just really, after I hit the 3, you know, it was I was really happy after that. You know, I felt like, you know, we really solidified it after I got that, after that steal.
Erik, you've kind of talked a little bit about the schedule a little bit this year. Obviously, you know what's coming up down the road. So to have a game like this early in the season, a little bit of an atmosphere, a little yelling, screaming, how big can this be for what you guys have, you know, coming up later?
Yeah, I think it's honestly, I think it's bigger for our younger guys rather than myself and Joe and Trey, Emmett. You know, because we got 4 or 5, maybe 6 guys on the team who have played in some big-time atmospheres a lot. So I think it was good for, you know, Seth and Kobe and Bo, James, those guys, and even, you know, both Josiah's, just to experience it and see that, you know, it doesn't matter where you're playing or how loud it is, you can still, you know, you can still win the game. So, you know, just staying even-keeled and staying locked in as a team and staying composed, it's good for the younger guys to see that. You know, it's pretty much every day in the office for the old guys.
Joe, you were with Keedy a lot on the floor tonight. Just kind of, what do you think that did for you guys defensively, and then do you think that kind of helped you guys get more in a rhythm and in transition on offense?
Yeah, 100%. I actually enjoy playing with Keedy. We kind of foul a lot, so I know why they don't play us together like that. But, you know, I enjoy it, you know, because sometimes when I need, you know, some rest, he was like, all right, I'll take the PG. If I see him, he needs some rest, I'm like, all right, I'll take the PG. You know, and we both can play off the ball. We both can play on the ball, and you know, just causing havoc on defense. So I really like that. We feed off each other.
Erik, you guys obviously, like Coach said, you played a lot during the summer. Everyone kind of got to know each other a little bit. In the grand scheme of things, a lot of people don't know about you guys, though. Cliff, do you think you guys answered? Sorry, excuse me. You guys think you guys answered some questions tonight in that sense?
I think we answered a few. I also think it's early.
Right.
You know, but to your question, I do think we answered some questions. I think we answered the question that we're going to play hard every possession. We're going to battle. You know, we're just going to keep fighting and scrapping. You know, we're trying to be a resemblance of this guy right here. You know what I mean? And so it's just it's good to get this win, man, and it's good to, like you said, answer some questions. You know, but more so for ourselves, to prove to ourselves we can do something. Right. You know, do something really special. And this is just one step in the road.
Erik, you specifically kind of set the tone at the beginning of the game with those 2 threes to lead it off, and then your confidence seemed to just raise as the game went on. How did you feed off of that, and how did you feed that to the rest of the team, I guess, to get the win?
Honestly, man, I don't think it had anything to do with the game. You know, November 11th is a special day for me, Veterans Day. My granddad died 3 years ago. And so every time we play on this day, man, I just have a good game, feels like. You know, our team really feeds off my energy. You know, I'm the talker, I'm the chirper. As you can see, you know, I chirp a lot, I talk a lot, probably a little too much. But I got to tone that down. No. But hey, it was good, man, to come out and get one to fall early, and then get another one to fall pretty quick after that. And like you said, man, when the team sees me chirping, man, it's downhill. It's downhill from there, man. So it's a good win.
You mentioned you were talking a lot in this game. Coach Capel actually talked about his team, and they kind of talked about they weren't talking enough. You guys notice that and kind of feast on that and think, okay, you guys are being quiet. We're gonna dominate this one.
Yeah, that's just how I do it, bro. To be honest, I just talk. You know, I like to get in the other team's head. I like to get under their skin. You know, because it's a form of, it's a strategy to win a game. You know, you make some shots, you stop, you get some stops, and you start chirping a little bit, man. It's more likely going to end up in your favor. And so, I mean, like I said, probably got toned down a little bit. But it's hard for me to stop, man. Once I get going, I'm going.
Erik, obviously you and Emmett really good friends. When he gets that dunk early in the game, and his body's carrying under the rim.
I've seen that too many times.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably got to be like, hey, this is kind of our night kind of moment, right?
I was waiting on him to look at me, man, because I was out of breath from screaming so much at half court. He wouldn't look at me. I was pissed off. I was like, I'm trying to celebrate with you, but like I said, man, I've seen that so many times. Playing Washington Supreme together in high school, and obviously, we went our separate ways for a little bit in college, but now we team back up, and it's just good, man, to be out there with a guy who our chemistry's like that, man. You know what I mean? You would have saw it if Keedy didn't ruin our alley-oop in the second half. But other than that, man, our chemistry's it's pretty much there with anybody I've played with. And so I think that's good for our team as well, because we got that chemistry so we can build chemistry with other guys, to get on the same page as me and him are. You know what I mean? So I feel like we're close to that, too. We got a bunch of guys who know how to play. And like Hugs talked about earlier, we got a bunch of guys who just live in the gym. So, with those two things, plus me and Evan having the chemistry, we can just wear off on each other and build on it.
Last question to Jerry. Erik, you mentioned a minute ago you like to follow your coach's lead, scrappy style and everything. Have you ever seen any video of his playing days?
We burn it all.
I had to be black and white. Nah, man, but every day. I mean, I've probably seen a couple clips, but he probably looks way different now than he did back then. You know what I mean? So I don't know if I recognize him, but like you said, man, he's on us every day, man. His favorite thing to say to us is, "You guys got to play." You know what I mean? And I know what that means. I know Joe knows what that means, but I don't think some of our younger guys know what that means. But we're just trying to play. You know what I mean? Trying to play at the level he wants us to play at, and play with the intensity that he wants us to play at. And not even that though, man. It's tradition here. West Virginia, man, we're playing for a whole state. You know what I mean? So it's just bigger than us, it's bigger than the team. It's the entire state of West Virginia.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.